Hello, welcome to the queue. It is Japan turn 7, right? Yep, I didn't move the marker again. Turn 7, Operation Octopussy. And the Russians and CCP are doing their turn right now, but they have assured me they have not attacked Japan. So I'm going to get it done, this turn done tonight. Originally, I was thinking I would do it in the morning, but who wants to lay around and sleep all night and then wake up and trying to wonder how this turn went out? Because we got some attacks going on. Let's see what we got going. But first, let's look at our buy for $37. We're going to finish our factory in, what is that, Honshu. Buy a destroyer, 1, 2, 3 infantry, 1 paratrooper, 1 marine, 3 militia, and a militia upgrade. And that's our 37. We've got tech. We're back to improved construction and large ship again, since, I don't know, we don't have anything else on the board. So 7 is the orange dice. Come, oh my gosh. That's 2. I think that's the same dang thing I rolled last time, was a 3 and a 2. Those dice are banished. You know what? No, we got plans for those. No, they're out of here. All right. So let's move on to what we're going to do. We've got a move that we made. So our combat is in 2 parts. First is a what-if scenario. And I sent the Commonwealth a list of ships that are moving through the Narrows here. Since the Commonwealth is at war, they have the option of declaring war and making an attack. So let's look at the ships. It is not the battle cruiser, so we'll leave that in this C zone here, which is what, P-50? All right, so we've got 2 battleships and 4 heavy cruisers. They're on this task force card. They come through 1. We've got a transport from P-32 with 2 infantry. 1, 2, 3. Technically, it would have a movement of 0 left. All right, so in P-52, we've got an empty transport that just comes through. Say the same movement as those ships. We have a destroyer. Let's see, where's that other destroyer coming from? So this destroyer from P-15, 1, 2, 3, 4. As he goes by Kwangtung, he grabs a marine off there. So these 2 ships have a movement of 0 left. And then I had a destroyer in P-50, which comes through 1. All right, so that is my list, right? Oh, torpedo boat destroyer. The Siamese torpedo boat destroyer comes through. All right, so that's my list. All right, so that is what I came through the strait, that the Commonwealth had an opportunity to declare war and get some coastal gun shots at them. They declined that action, so we have an option tree here. Get rid of that piece of paper. Originally, the thought was, you know, if they don't, we can always double back and take out the Dutch East Indy and give the U.S. A couple dice rolls. If they did declare war, we would swing back and drop everything on Malaya and take out the other peripherals and some of India and then go after Calcutta from there. The next option would be, of course, we could enact our sneak attack, which we'd have to leave these 2 ships behind. But all these other ships, they would load from there and go up here to Egypt and sneak attack there. And then the final option is with these ships, the sneak attack gives 1 additional movement to ships and planes. So these ships now can come into 11 and do the sneak attack on Calcutta. So the obvious choice in this scenario is to enact the sneak attack. And it's time for Tora, 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 only it's not Hawaii this time. So we're going into Calcutta. So that gives some plus movements to these ships. So we'll go in there with these two ships, the destroyer and the transport. They will both, I'll put them here in Delhi because I'm going into these other territories around about. You know what? Let's just mark the territories that I'm going to be hitting. So we're going to go after Maharashtra. We're going to go after Burma. We're going to go after Hong Kong. We were thinking about maybe going after the French Indochina, but since they flipped, we don't need to worry about that. So the other option is, once I see what I've got here, I may split up and take these two as well, but we'll take a peek at what we got going in there first. All right, so the transport that is sitting here in this C zone, which is what, I-12, we'll grab from Siam there, right? Yeah. 2 Marines, because we know we need Marines on an amphibious assault. And they are going in to Calcutta. Our task force here will be all our bombards. I'll put that up here because I think I'll have enough. So this destroyer that came through empty will grab that last Marine, and he'll go into Calcutta as well. All right, so in Calcutta is 4 Marines and 2 infantry so far on these 4 ships. We have this destroyer in I-12, which will just come over 1, go in port in Maharashtra. We've got this torpedo boat destroyer, which is a non-com, but he was going there anyway, into I-7. All right, so let's see. I've got this destroyer left, and I have 2 transports still sitting in P-50. So they can take 2 infantry, and because I have this port now, we can go 1, 2, 3, and then they have to go into this battle for that surprise strike. So that's 2 more infantry. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry, 4 Marines going into that battle. We're going to take 1 of our artillery. Oh, you know what? That's what we were going to do. Or was it? Okay, so let's play this backwards. Let's take the 2 infantry, put them back. The 2 Marines, put them back. This transport goes back to P-50, and this one was sitting here. So it will pick up 1 Marine and 1 infantry. It came 1 through, it's loaded, and it's going there. So that way we can drop 1 infantry off in Burma, 1 Marine off in Calcutta. So the transport that was in P-50 now has a Marine and an infantry, and it goes the long way around with the +1 for the movement. So that means on the 2 destroyers and 3 transports, we've dropped off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's our 8 units, which would be 3 infantry, 4 Marines. So this last Marine here, I probably should be safe and come up 1, 2, and throw him into Calcutta instead of taking southern India. I don't think that they'll get that many defensive hits, but you never know. It's better to be safe than sorry. So that is our infantry going in. There's our bombardments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 8 going in. So what did I say that was? 6. So we plenty of room for the bombards. This battle cruiser will come up here to C zone P41 and go in this Hong Kong battle. So this other transport here in Nanking will come up 1, grab an infantry and a Marine, 2, 3, and he goes into Hong Kong. And we're going to have this fighter from Korea, 1, 2, 3, 4. He was at an air base, so he'll have a movement of 1 left. Get my dice out. And the last question is, do I throw that artillery in there just for grins? I think not. I think we're good. Let's see, I got one last transport that I was using to just go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he can move an artillery back. So let's bring that artillery from Kwangtung in as well. And then we're going to use strategic naval movement with that to pick up that artillery in Japan and bring it back to Kwangtung. All right. So that's our transports. That's our attacks. Let's do some aircraft. So the aircraft here, which is a tactical in I-12, 1, 2, and he'll have a movement of 3 left. I'll just put them out in front. The tactical and fighter from I-13, 1, 2, 3. So they'll have a movement of 2 left. We've got a fighter in Siam, 1, 2, 3, and it'll have a movement of 2 left. I got more planes. There they are in P-50. 1, 2, 3. So they will all have a movement of 2 left as well. And to make that, yeah, I think that's good. All right. Move that back. We got our planes moved. We're about ready to roll some dice, but you know what? Let's do some convoying because we want to. All right, so this sub in I-12, 1, 2, comes over to I-4. I don't have my convoy. I only have 1, so we're going to do a convoy raid there. We've got a coastal sub here in P-41. He'll come down and do a convoy raid in P-50. And then that sub's just coming south. This sub here in P-53, 1, 2, 3, he'll do a convoy raid here in P-72. All right, so that leaves, well, I'll just do my non-coms here with these 2 subs, just so they're out of the way. All right, so the coastal sub went from P-59 to P-61. The regular sub from P-50 down 3 to P-69. All right, so I believe since I'm doing an amphib assault, that carrier has a movement as well of a +1. 1, 2, 3, 4 to catch some planes. All right. So I think that's it. I think we're ready. Well, you know what? Let's roll our dice. U.S. was getting 2 regardless, because at the very least we were attacking the Dutch East Indies. So let's get 3 dice, and they'll be the red. So these will be the 3 bonus. So let's see what the U.S. income is, or increase, I guess. It's not too bad. We got 2 6s, 7. All right, so this is on the underside. That's the good news. So there's 12, 19, 23, 28. So what are they at? So that would be 20 would be 37. 8 would be 45. Well, that's a stinker. So they can't go to war this turn, but what are they down? 45, 10, 55. Well, 2 really good rolls. They could be in turn 8. Most likely 9, so that's about where we want them. So let's go with the attacks. Let's warm up with some convoy rating. So here in I-4, the red is Japan. That will be a total of, well, there's only one, I think. Yeah. So I get one from the British line and one from the FEC line. So they lose $1. Not that it matters. Well, it might matter if I fail. The coastal sub, just for grins, we'll roll it. Well, yeah, because it's in the joint of this Anzac line, so it might be helpful. It gets a +1. Well, that maxes that out. So the coastal sub takes 2 from Anzac. We don't need to roll that, but just for grins, let's see if our convoy rating would have been, yep, it would have been successful all over the place. All right, so we maxed out this line for 2, this line for 1, and the East Africa one for, is it East Africa? Yeah, for 1 more. So I think Britain lost 6 over there, so they'll lose a 7th. And hopefully this doesn't matter, and Anzac loses 2 on the income. All right, so let's, well, there's really only 2 battles to roll, so we'll save the cake for the last. We'll go for Hong Kong first. We're going to have a bombard of that battle cruiser at a 3. Too bad. All right, so we've got an artillery is a first strike at a 3. That's a 2 because of the mountains. They fail. All right, the Marine infantry at 1s. There's a hit. And the fighter at a 6. Another hit. Shooting back, it is in a city militia, so they get a 3 or lower. They do not. So that militia is gone. Didn't get a marker, so we'll put that up so we'll know to count it. All right, big battle. Lots of first strikes here. So they do have a fort so that boosts all the infantry units up 1, or no, up 2, but they are reduced by 1 for the first strike. So they're only going to go up 1. The fort gets the first strikes 2 at 5, but I think because of the first strike, it's 2 at 4. So we'll do theirs first and see what happens. So they do get 1, 4, and 11. So obviously we lose a Marine. All right, now the first strikes is going to be all the planes and then all the bombards. So we've got 2 at 4 for the battleships. Nothing. And then we got 4 at 2 for the heavy cruisers. And there's 1. So that'll be the militia, because I'm pretty sure they want to try and get a shot at those planes, is what they want. So that is it. Oh, no. Now the planes get to go. I didn't put out my little target select thing. So all these tacticals get to target select there. So I'll have 3 at 7. The target select is 1, 2, or 3. Oh, goodness, only 1 hit. All right, so then I got 3 fighters. And, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? This is not good. 6 planes, 2 hits. So they'll lose 2 more guys. That's the first strikes. All right. So the defense is 3 infantry and 3 anti-aircraft. All right. So the 3 infantry are at 5s. Of course. So there's 2 more Marines. And each anti-aircraft, would it get 3? I only have 6 planes. Yeah, I believe they do. All right, so anti-aircraft gun number 1, and these are at 2s. Anti-aircraft gun number 2. Anti-aircraft gun number 3. 1 plane. All right, so that's good. That's very good. We will lose, I guess, a fighter, just so we have the higher dice rolls. All right, so left in the attack. Oh, you know what? I never rolled for all my infantry. All right, well, what did I have? There was only one first strike. So I had 2 Marines plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had 7. So 7 at 2. Then we'll see what's left for round 2. All right, so that's 3, 6, 7. All right, these are all, it's more than I can roll there. All right, 7 at 2. I got 1. So that means into the next round, oh, you know what? They would take that anti-aircraft gun. The other hits were first strikes, right? Yeah. So yeah, they would take the anti-aircraft gun. So now they could take those on the second round, the anti-aircraft guns. Right? Yeah, those were the militia and 2 infantry were first strikes. Yep. All right, should have been a lot more than that on first strikes. All right, so here's round 2, and we have 2 Marines, 3 infantry at 2. There's 2 hits, so that'll be those 2 anti-aircraft guns. We have 2 fighters at 6. There's 1 more hit, and then we have 3 tacticals at 7. 2 more. So that is a total of 5 hits. 1, 2, 5. So Calcutta has fallen. They do have 3 rolls back. I think the -1 is just for the first round. So they're in a city. So instead of 4s, they'll be at 5. So 3 dice at 5 return fire. And they do get 1, so we'll lose an infantry because this is round 2. All right, so Calcutta does fall. That's pretty heavy losses, I think, for what it should have been. All right, fort is gone. All right, so we didn't have a marker in Calcutta there, so let's put one. All right, so we take it with 2 infantry, 2 Marines. All right, so we're going to go up 3, 4, 5, right? And what is Hong Kong? Hong Kong is 7. And that is it. So Japan goes up 7 to 39. And they go off the board. So they got 0. All right, so what do we have left to do? We're going to land our planes. So we've got 1, 3 here, which is the tactical. He'll come out 1, 2, 3 into Siam with those 2 artillery. All right, so that means I have 2 carriers. This carrier will from, what is that, I-13 will come up 2 into I-11 and catch the 2 fighters and the 2 tacticals. This bombard fleet is in I-11. We got a torpedo boat destroyer in I-12. We got a light carrier, which will elect to go 1, 2, 3. Well, you know what? Since they didn't declare war, well, no, they're at war now, so they would shoot. All right, so 1, 2, 3 into P50. Let's see. Oh, that's an Italian sub. Never mind. I don't think I have anything to fear from the Italian sub. All right, so take that marker off. We got 2 light cruisers sitting there in P50. And we got this transport that's going to do strategic naval movement. I'll get that task marker off. That makes me think that maybe it'd be wise No, we'll leave that there. All right. This plane has a movement of 1 left, so from in Hong Kong, he goes into Kwangtung, lands on our little card there, task force marker. Oh, I did have a marker there. Get that out of the way. All right. So in Hong Kong is a Marine, Infantry, Artillery. All right. What do we have left? I didn't mark that. Doggone it. That was another combat move. Oh well. All right, so what other moves? We're going to move this artillery from Biping up to Hunan, and the artillery in Rihe goes to Biping. We're going to rail an infantry from Suyan all the way down to Siam. Take my rail marker off. Let's chip out another one of these guys and put them into Siam. All right, so let's see. I don't really know where the Russians have moved to because I didn't know their turn. So I'm wondering if maybe I should just leave that artillery there. They didn't attack me, but I'm not planning on attacking them next turn, so no secret out of the bag. I gotta... Well, yeah, we'll just leave it in Biping. Sorry. All right, so we've got this transport with a movement of 5 on the strategic naval movement. 1, 2, 3. Grabs the artillery in Kyushu. 4, 5. Drops it off into Kwangtung. All right, so what else do we have to move? I think we're golden. So obviously this guy didn't move, so we're going to bring him, pick him up with a destroyer. 1, 2, 3, and in the Caroline Islands is where we'll deposit him. And we'll hang out the destroyer in P-46. All right. Got nothing for the seaplane to do, so we'll come back to Okinawa on that seaplane base. Nothing to go in port there. Technically, well, we could go in port. We've got that battle cruiser. There's no aircraft around. I think we're golden. Just in case, we'll move one of those light cruisers up. And that is the story, right? Right. Okay. Yep, we're good. Let's place some units and call it an evening. All right, so the factory here is completed in Honshu. The destroyer will go here into P-15. We've got a militia and an upgrade, which will go here into Siam. So I'll just leave that militia there. Put that one over there. So 2 militia that get to go. One will go here in Kwangtung, and the other will go in this empty spot here in Shangtung. That leaves airborne in Tokyo, and 3 infantry and a marine is left. The infantry goes into Rihe, and in Kyushu goes 2 infantry and a marine. And I believe we are golden. Let's look at our cash, which has changed. We used up our oil money, so that is gone. And I still don't have my other change back. All right, so Japan is at 39 now, so that's 10, 20, 30. There's a 5, that's 35. and 39 plus 6, so that'll be 45 for next turn. I don't believe Hong Kong is a bonus. Calcutta isn't a bonus either, although it should be, I guess. So that's it, 45, I think, for next turn on Japan. And let's do a recap where we're at. We'll start out with militia. And Tokyo's a militia, airborne. P-16 is a torpedo boat destroyer. P-15 is a destroyer. Kyushu is 2 infantry and a marine. Okinawa militia, seaplane. Carolines is a marine militia. P-46 is a destroyer. P-72 is a sub. P-69 is a sub. P-61 is a coastal sub. P-50 is a coastal sub, light carrier, light cruiser. P-41 is a light cruiser, battle cruiser. 2 transports. Hong Kong is a marine, artillery, and an infantry. Hunan is a militia. Nanking is an infantry, artillery, cavalry. Shantung is a militia. Hopei? Yeah, Hopei is an infantry. Biping is 2 artillery, motorized infantry, cavalry. Suyan is an infantry mountain. Rihe an infantry. A couple of militia in Manchuria there. Kwangtung, which is a marker, is 1 marine, 2, 4, 6 infantry, 2 militia, 1 artillery, 1 fighter. And Siam, 2 artillery, 2 infantry, 1 militia, 1 tactical bomber. In what is that, Burma? I think so. Yeah, Burma is an infantry. Calcutta, 2 infantry, 2 marines. Maharashtra, marine with a destroyer in port. Sub in I-4. Torpedo boat destroyer in I-7 and I-12. And the main fleet in I-11 is 2 carriers, 2 fighters, 2 tacticals, 3 destroyers, 3 transports, 4 heavy cruisers, 2 battleships. And that is quite a load. I think that's it. So on to but the UK Commonwealth turn. And Germany has swept. And the battle in the Atlantic has begun. We shall see where we go from there. Germany got a big navy now, courtesy of the French, along with their cash.